All right, so this is the Arlando Fortune, still on the 90-day challenge, right? 99 problems, but this ain't one. All right, so tomorrow we're probably going to go back to some more training um, on whether it's going to be on writing a blog or posting on Facebook or maybe some YouTube training. You know, those are the three platforms we're really using the most here. But a little bit, not as I go along, I'm going to do some tips on Craigslist. We're actually doing pretty decent on Craigslist also. But we'll talk about marketing on there a little bit later. Today, I want to work around with a couple acronyms. I like doing wordplay, right? So if you haven't already looked on my YouTube site here, The Arlando Fortune, you'll look towards some of the first posts I put on YouTube were some poetry. I like spoken word. But anyway, so today we're going to talk about two acronyms for the word good and for the word bad. This is going to be very short today. Let's get it out here. All right, so depending on where you're coming from, you're either thinking about life as either black and white, or whether it's good or bad. Basically, if you're only coming out from that standpoint, there is no gray area. There is no blurring of the lines. Where sometimes something good can actually be the bad thing, and sometimes the bad thing can be the good thing. It's either good or it's bad. Personally, I believe there's some blurring of the lines. You know, certain things be done as long as it's moral and not legal, and it is legal. As long as it's moral and it is legal. I almost slipped up right there, right? So the thing about it is, when you're doing the wrong thing or doing things that are quote unquote bad, right? It seems from my own personal experience that you tend to get a lot of bad feedback. I mean, you can call it karma, you can call it the way of the world, you can call it reaping what you sow, however you want to label it. The thing about it is, from personal experience, when I started doing the bad things, I started getting bad feedback. I started having bad things happen to me. And I'm not necessarily saying I'm going out about punching or hitting or calling people out of their names, but little things like when I would take advantage of people, manipulate them when I was running around on the streets trying to hustle up some money and things of that nature, right? Maybe I was fast talking, double talking, or whatever it is, basically just being a con artist when I was running around the streets. And I was hanging around people who were con artists and manipulators. So that's what I learned to do, right? And eventually, what ended up happening in those situations? At some point, I ended up getting in trouble. I ended up being either my car getting stolen, getting held up, being put a gun held up to me. I ended up having things stolen from me. You know, all these things, bad things happen, and that's let alone end up being arrested or end up spending some time in jail. Okay. Plus, ended up with some serious other issues that came along around with it. I mean, God put some things in you that tells you shouldn't be doing things incorrectly or immoral. So, unless you're that type of person who has that spirit of evil or bad, then eventually all that stuff you've been doing builds up in you, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all. Eventually, you got to have a breaking point where it's like, I can't do this anymore. You can start make that change, and I'm glad I started making that change, because here's the thing: when you start doing the good things, the same thing starts happening. Yes, bad things happen to good people. We're not talking about that. What we're talking about is the fact that when you start doing the good things in your life, you start living that good life. You start reaping what you sow. Again, the karma starts coming back again, so that the good things eventually starts coming to you. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen instantly. If you've been doing things a certain way, then it may take some time for all the good you're doing to come back and start reaping those rewards, because you're going to be tested by the universe. They're going to see if you're really trying to make this change or if you're just playing with it. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, you're going to be no doubt in what you're doing, just blessing people. No doubt, just blessing people, you know, and that's when you start making a change, you know. So here's the acronym as I suggested. I said I was going to give it to you. So good, or let's start with bad first. The bad news is bad news. Said bad is you're bashing all dreams. Okay, bad steps are bashing all dreams. Now you can call that hating or whatever you want to call it, but when you're doing bad things, you're bashing all your dreams. You're getting rid of them. You're beating them to death. All of them going away. You're bashing all your dreams. You're doing bad things. Okay. Now, but on the flip side, here's what good. Good stands for GOO, which is my little acronym, of course. God, the universe, or whatever you want to call it. Right. GOO overcomes obstacles daily. Say that again. GOO, or God, overcomes obstacles daily. So when you're doing good things, you're constantly going to be thrown, obstacles going to be put in your way. There's going to be put out there. This is the way the world works. But you're doing good things. You're going to be, God is going to help you overcome those obstacles daily. And you're going to start living. That's the good life. It comes from being able to overcome those obstacles. And now you turn around and help somebody else as I'm doing this video. Alright, that's it for today. Hope you guys see me tomorrow. Tomorrow again, probably do some training. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be on. But this is Arlando Fortune telling you to keep it as simple as A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, and do, re, mi. Remember, family, live in no doubt, just blessings.
Because confidence is all you really need to live your life in style. So just do what you gotta do.